اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله، صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله الحسين، يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة. يا ليتنا كنا معكم سيدي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. قال مولانا الإمام الصادق عليه السلام: إذا أملقتم فتاجروا مع الله بالصدقة. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. The Battle of Karbala was not some kind of a meeting. It was not some kind of a office agreement or a 9-to-5 job. It was a bloody, hate-filled, life on the line event which was unforeseen in human history. We say فَلَعَنَ اللَّهُ أُمَّةً أَسَّسَتْ أَسَاسَ الظُّلْمِ وَالْجَوْرِ عَلَيْكُمْ أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ. So the foundation of evil, the foundation of oppression was established in Karbala. And therefore, we want to see, what does Imam Sadiq alayhi salam mean when he speaks to us about the holy logic? Number one, what is the holy logic? And what is the difference between human logic and holy logic? This is number one. Number two, what is the difference between alim al-ghayb and alim al-shahada? And what is our relationship with the world of the unseen? Number two. And number three is, what does the hadith of our sixth Imam mean when he says that if you have no money, then give your money away? And what does this insinuate within the religion of Islam and within our daily lives? Number one, brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us an opportunity to be with Hussein or to be with Yazid. In Jamal, who would you be with? In Karbala, who would you be with? In Badr and Safin and Uhud, who would you be with? Inna hadaynahu sabil. You have a decision. And this free will, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us, is truly the holy logic. You see, brothers and sisters, in dua of Rajab, we say, Ya man yu'ti, man lam ya'rifhu, man ya'rifhu, wa man lam ya'rifhu. Tahannunan minhu wa rahma. اعطني بمسألتي إياك جميع خير الدنيا وجميع خير الآخرة واصرف عني, until the hadith continues. O he who gives to whom knows him and to whom doesn't know him. In other words, when fourth Imam says that the eye is the panel to the soul, what do you see? Who is your Imam? يوم ندعو كل أناس بإمامهم. On that day, we'll invite everyone with their Imam. Your tongue may have attested and testified to the wilayah of Ali ibn Abi Talib, but your heart is leaning towards somebody else. يَمِيلُونَ مَيْلًا عَظِيمًا. The kuffar, they want you to lean, a great lenience towards them. وَلَن تَرْضَ عَنْكَ الْيَهُودُ وَالنَّصَارَى حَتَّى تَتَّبِعْ مِلَّتَهُمْ. They will never give you acceptation. They will never give you it until you follow them, until you sacrifice your principles. And this is a dangerous discussion. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a logic and we have a logic as well. Imam Hussein takes 72 versus 30,000, holy logic. Ibrahim, yes, jumps in the fire, holy logic, gets saved. Ya nar kuni bardan wa salaman ala Ibrahim. Who else had a holy logic? His companion by the name of Makki. Makki, he was companion of 6th Imam. And Imam Sadiq says, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. He told them, I'm ready to do thawra. I'm ready to do a revolution. He said, let's do it. Yallah, bismillah, ibn Rasulullah. He says, I need 40. That's all I need, 40. Less than Hussein and more than Rasulullah. Told them only 40. Where are they? 1, 2, 3, 40. Yalla, thawra. He's like, okay, just quick test. What's your name? Khurasan, right? He says, yes, my name is Khurasan. He says, jump in the fire. He goes in the fire. He reaches the oven. He says, I can't do it. He calls Mekki. Mekki, jump. Mekki jumps in the fire. And they open it up and they see him cool, just like Ibrahim. Holy logic. The Imam told you to do it. النبي أولى بالمؤمنين من أنفسهم وأزواجهم أمهاتكم. Rasulullah has more of a right on you. What did he tell them in Ghadir? What was Ghadir all about? Who do you trust more, me or yourself? Trust yourself in all situations except when there's a prophet or Imam. النبي أولى بالمؤمنين من أنفسهم وأزواجهم أمهاتكم. ألست أولى بالمؤمنين من أنفسهم. Yes, all of them said Bala. He said, if that's the case, if your tongue is saying yes, and your heart is saying no, let's see. He tells them, فَمَنْ كُنْتُ مَوْلَاهُ فَهَذَا عَلِي الْمَوْلَى. What did you do to Amir al-Mu'mineen? He said, if I'm your master, Ali's your master. It was a test of tongue and heart relationship and brain. Is there tawahhud? Is there tawheed? Is there some type of a unity and oneness and harmony in salati wa nusuki, the tawheed al-Ibrahimiyya? Probably not. What else is holy logic? Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, yes, he's being beheaded and he's saying تَرَكْتُ الْخَلْقَ طُرًّا فِي هَوَاكَ وَأَيْتَمْتُ الْعِيَالَ لِكَيْ أَرَاكَ. Everything is for you, Ya Allah. Everything, everything. You want more? My 6th month was killed. My brother was, his hands got decapitated. All of it. Today we remember Asghar. All of them killed. What happens? He says more. خُذْ مِنِّي حَتَّى تَرْضَى. Imam Sadiq again. He throws the water into the blood into the air, and Imam Sadiq says that none of the droplets of blood came down after Abdullah Radi' was killed. So number one, holy logic. Why? Because the hate which they had towards Imam al-Hussein was because of Ali ibn Abi Talib. He tells him, why are you killing me? You know, in his last moments, he tells him, Ya Shimr, ala ta'arifuni? He told him, do you know who I am? Perhaps you forgot. He tells him, no, I know you. His tongue. Na'am, a'arifuka, anta al-Husayn, ibn Fatima, bint Muhammad. He says, I know who you are. Why do you want to kill me? He tells him, لا أذبحنك عن قفا وأنت عطشان, until he tells him, بغضا من أبيك علي. His hate was towards Ali. What was the hate of Hussein towards Shimr? Not towards Shimr as an individual. His hate was not towards the enemy, it was towards the enmity. The hate was towards the arrogance of Shimr, the disbelief of Shimr, the hypocrisy of Shimr, because these people at the end of the day were claiming to be Muslims. If Shimr came and said, under the name of Christianity or under the name of Judaism, I fight Hussein ibn Ali, it would have been a different war. But it was kuntum umma wa kunna umma, not kuntum deen wa kunna deen. No, a different nation. Yes, there's many ummas. وَلَوْ شِئْنَا لَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَاحِدًا. If we wanted to, we would have made you one ummah. So their hate was towards the enemy. Imam Hussein said further. Their hate was towards Bani Hashim, further. Their hate was towards Ali, further. They couldn't go further. So what was it? It was disbelief versus Iman. وَهَرَى الْإِيمَانُ كُلُّهُ لِلْكُفْرِ كُلِّهِ. Yes, Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen was Iman manifested. مَا أَبْغَضَكَ إِلَّا مُنَافِقٌ. So you don't have an Islam if Ali ibn Abi Talib doesn't play centerpiece position. This is number one. Number two, their problem was that they only saw jasad. Tell them about ruh. There's iman, there's Rabb. عالم الغيب والشهادة. You're supposed to believe in the unseen and the seen as well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unseen. ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. Who are muttaqin? Number one, الذين يؤمنون بالغيب. Even more important than يقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة. Yes, they believe in the unseen. Angels unseen. The Prophet was unseen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is unseen. 12th Imam unseen. Why? Because when the 5th descendant of your 7th Imam goes into occultation, watch out for your faith. Or Imam Ma'soom said. Because it's difficult. You tell them believe in this. You know they believe in shaitan, but he's unseen. So why can't you believe in the 12th Imam? But you say he's unseen. Allah. So these are logical arguments which you can bring forward which didn't work. So Amir al-Mu'mineen came with a new logic. What did he tell them? He told them, لا يردع الجهل إلا حد الحسام. He says nothing can remove ignorance or combat or oppose ignorance, put a fight for ignorance, except the shiny edge of the Dhul Fiqar, the sword of Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. And that's why it was a bloody history. Yes? That's why it was a bloody history. This is number 2. Number 3, Imam Salih alayhi salam, he says, إِذَا أَمْلَقْتُمْ, if you are poor, look at the holy logic. فَتَاجِرُوا مَعَ اللَّهِ بِالصَّدَقَةِ. If you're poor, what do? You go to the bank, you make a withdrawal. Do you agree? Or if you don't have any money, you go to Chase Bank, you go to Citizens Bank, or Bank of America. You go to these banks and you get money and everything is okay. Imam Sadiq says, if you have a need for money, then go and give charity. What is this holy logic about? What is it about? It's about trusting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَإِذَا عَزِمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. If you have thrust and you have the intention, number 1, then do tawakkul ala Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What was Imam Hussein mentioning on the 10th of Muharram? He was mentioning, إِلَهِي خُذْ مِنِّي حَتَّى تَرْضَى تَرَكْتُ الْخَلْقَ طُرًّا فِي هَوَاكَ اللَّهُمَّ إِنْ كَانَ هَذَا يُرْضِيكَ فَزِدْنِي مِنْهُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala played a pivotal piece within the narrative of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. He told them, قُلُوبُهُمْ مَعَكَ وَسُيُوفُهُمْ عَلَيْكَ. He says, I'm still going to go. They told him that the people of Kufa have disregarded you. He told them, I'm still going to go. Until they told him, Ya Hussein, I remember he stopped in Zubada. He stopped in a place by the name of Zubada, and they found him recruiting Zuhair ibn al-Qayn. It was not a good situation. You had to recruit people, the grandson of Rasulullah recruiting, people flock, people worship Ali ibn Abi Talib at one point in time. Amir al-Mu'minin goes down, he says, Ma ana illa abdun min abidi Muhammad. He says, I'm nothing but a slave from the slave of Muhammad, not even of Allah, of Muhammad. Until he told him, لَقَدْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ أَن يَرَانِ قَتِيلًا وَلَقَدْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ أَن يَرَاهُنَّ سَبَايًا. Allah wants to see Zainab taken as a prisoner of war. It's part of the narrative. It's part of the Islamic narrative. Don't give me some bozo baloney narrative, the Islamic narrative. What is it about? We need to be adapting to the 21st century and modern spirituality. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He wants to see how much will you sacrifice. This is Ali al-Asghar alayhi salam. Brothers and sisters, they caught Harmala and they told him, Harmala, how many arrows did you throw on the 10th of Muharram? And he said, I threw 7 arrows, 4 of which landed. Which ones landed, Harmala? He said, first one into the right eye of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. Second one in the tents of Zainab. Fourth one within the heart of Al-Husayn ibn Ali. You know, when he pulled out the dagger and it was gushing blood. روحي لك الفداء أبا عبد الله. And then they told him which one was the worst of the 4. He said, I saw the shining neck of Abdullah al-Radi' or Ali al-Asghar within the hands of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. He told him, اقطع نزاع القوم, cut the dispute of the army. He says, I took out a normal arrow which didn't do justice. He says, I took out the 3-pronged arrow which is used to sever the necks of camels. He says, I aimed it at the neck of Abdullah al-Radi' and I released it, landed straight into his jugular. Ajarakumullah. He says, I saw Ali take out his hands and flap them like a butchered bird, looking at the face of Abu Abdullah, telling him, Father, you promised me water. Why did an arrow quench my thirst? You know, brothers and sisters, the mother of Abdullah al-Radi', she would go out within the middle of the night. She would look for the babies, and she would look for, between the qatla of Karbala, the shuhada, she would find a baby. Who? Abdullah al-Radi'. She would place his mouth next to her chest, and she would say, quench from my thirst, O Ali. Before I had nothing, my chest was dry. By now, O Abdullah, wake up. Please wake up one last time. Abu Abdullah, he takes the baby to the tents, and Sukaina sees him. She tells him, Father, perhaps there's more water for me to drink as well. He turns around and he tells her, يا سكينة خذي أخاك من يدي، إنه مقطوع من الوريد إلى الوريد، مذبوح من الوريد إلى الوريد. He was cut from neck to neck, from side to side. ساعد الله قلبك يا صاحب الزمان. When 12th Imam goes to Karbala, he would open the shrine of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. He would take the baby from upon the chest of the Imam, he would raise him to the sky, and he would say, Allahumma ma dhanbu hadha at-tifl ar-radhi'. What is the guilt of this 6-month-old baby? إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. اللهم بغربة الحسين وعطش الحسين ووحدة الحسين شافي كل مريض، بحق مريض كربلاء زين العابدين. اللهم عجل وليك الفرج واجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه والمستشهدين بين يديه برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. الفاتحة قبلها صلوات.
الله